Welcome back to All Up in Your Business. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that will assist you in ensuring that you continuously evolve on your journey of entrepreneurship. Matter of fact, on building a leadership stance that makes sense to you in this world that we live in. So what we're going to do is dive into a topic that helps you shift your mindset or give you a tool that makes you feel more empowered to take action towards what it is you want. And most of all, know the business you're in and know the role you're meant to play leading it. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And of course, we appreciate any shares, likes, subscribes, and reviews that you're able to post about the show. We hope it has the impact that you need in your world. And as much as I love being all up in your business, some of these moments you might be all up in mine. So here we go. Let's dive in. Just got a question here, and I wanted to answer it with you under this format because I feel like so many entrepreneurs need to know this. And this is where things tend to break down when you're trying to scale and grow your business that has to do with your people. So there is this question out there about, Kareen, I hear this saying, and you've even said it yourself. It's just, hire slow and fire fast. What does that mean? And how do I actually practically do it? Right? Like, how do I make sure that I am being methodical about my hiring practices, but that when it's not a fit, how do I let it go? So part one of this discussion right now is all about the hiring slow, the methods you need to master in order to make the best selection of who is worthy of joining your team and your company based on, their past performance in other companies, but most of all, how to qualify them that they have the right skill for what you need in yours and they are the right fit for your environment. So how do we do that? Right? Like, that's the number one question. How do I do that? I've never hired before. If I'm a solopreneur and I'm trying to expand past myself, what does it mean for me specifically to hire slow? What are the things I need to do? So if you're new to hiring, because a lot of entrepreneurs start out with their own concept, their own method, they're doing everything, right? And I know some of you now have taken the CEO quiz and you realize, oh, I'm actually a creator and I really don't want to be in operations, but I've mastered operations because I had to. Right? I was shitting all over myself and I had to get it done. Now I want to go hire that operator because I have systems down, but I need someone who loves operations to come in and do that. How do I select that person when I've never hired for that person before? Such a common question. So let's break it down. How do you go about doing it? Number one is really about that clear job description. What is the job, the duties, the activities, the things that you're trying to get off your plate that you want this operator to come in and do? When you get the list of duties together, all the different activities, et cetera, then you want to ask yourself, well, how qualified do I need this person to be? Is this someone I need seasoned, like has done this before in another company? Do I want a more senior person so I could just trust that once I show them how we've done it in our company, that they are going to take it to the next level because their expertise is coming into the room to make it even better and more efficient and more applicable and everything that I probably didn't even see because I never wanted to be in operations anyway. How do I qualify for their skills? So what are the qualifications? That is where you can use all the lovely AI we have out there and ask, what are the qualifications required to get this job done at this level? Because now you have the list of activities you need done, right? You can just pop that in and prompt to ask, what are the qualifications I should look for when I no longer want to play this role? I want to trust the person to do it. And I need to define what this role even is. So a prompt could easily be in the Hey Kareen app, if you'd like to use that one, and I recommend you do, is that you can prompt and ask her and say, hey, Kareen, I have these job duties, these activities, these things I no longer want on my plate that I want to turn into a job description. After looking at it, what's the role do you think that this is that I need to hire for? And she'll pop out some titles for you to consider. Then based on that, okay, great. What are the one that title that resonates with you? What are the common qualifications I should be looking for someone to fulfill this job in order to do that? And can you give me past companies or past roles this person may have been a part of or did in order to complete this role. So that way, now she has helped you refine your job description. She has given you qualifications. She has given you a title to now be super clear on what you're out there looking for. Now, as you know, people and their skill set and how they promote themselves on a resume when they're using the beautiful AI machines out there to like make themselves look amazing can literally match what you have now put in your job description on their resume to get an interview, right? That's all a resume is. It's a personal branding to get into the job interview. It is up to you now. This is step number 2 after you have a very clear job description and you've posted it out there and now you're wanting applicants to apply. You want to go back into Hey Kareen and ask her, Hey Kareen, what are the top 3 qualifying questions I should ask to validate that this person applying is actually the best fit for my company? And add the link to your company's URL so that she understands your brand and that she knows the culture you're trying to also build based on your brand presence that we've put out into the world. Then she's going to give you a list of qualifying questions. Now use them. So how do you use them? When someone applies for the job, if you're not using any of these platforms right now, if it's through LinkedIn Premium or if it's through any of the job, ZipRecruiter, et cetera, you can have qualifying questions that each applicant must answer in order for you to receive the application. It helps you weed all the nonsense because we've all been there before when we've done job posting that people don't really even look at what you're asking for. And they're just going to be applying because everybody's looking for work right now, which is great that you're going to have a huge applicant pool. But what's not great is your time management in order to sift through these resumes. So qualifying questions are a really great way for applicants that are meant for the job, that are closer to the fit, to rise to the top of your list. So now you've got those 3 qualifying questions as part of the application process. If you don't have that feature, then make sure then you ask them via email. If it's an applicant you're interested in, you looked at their resume, et cetera, have them answer those 3 questions via email before you actually set up a phone screen interview. And that would be the 3rd step in that phone screening interview. So even before you bring somebody in person, you want to qualify that how they represent themselves digitally, they can actually speak to those items with you verbally. So you want to reiterate the qualifications you're looking for and have those questions ready for a phone screen. Again, you can use Hey Kareen and go ask her, hey, can you give me 5 qualifying questions I can ask in a phone screen to ensure that this person has the background I'm looking for to fulfill this job? Do a 15 to 20 minute phone screen to qualify them before you now set up an in-person interview if you're hiring this person in person, or a full interview sequence if you are doing virtual interviews. But in this case now, do you see how we have now slowed down the process of hiring because you're qualifying the person to be assured that if they get past the in-person interview and you actually extend them an offer, that you've done your checks and balances regarding the background. Now, let's say you got them through the face-to-face interview or extended interview with you, your team, other members of your community that you want to help validate that this is the right fit for you. Now it's time to assess their skill set. So how do you do skill set assessments on people in their jobs? Well, case studies. I do this all the time, especially for senior roles, or if someone has claimed to have an expertise in an area, I will design a case study that questions their ability in my environment. So again, another prompt you can use with Hey Kareen is, hey Kareen, based on this role we've been working on, and now that I have qualified them and I have applicants come through the interview process, I now want to present a case study that helps them try understand the challenges we're facing around this job, which is what we're hiring for, and to see what their approach is like so that I can assess if their approach actually speaks to our needs, and see what kind of case studies would come up for that job, and then figure out and fine tune it for yourself to now apply to that candidate. And if a candidate is not willing to fulfill a case study for you, as part of the interview process, again, it's telling. Again, it is telling whether or not they're going to be willing to do the job you assign them once they're actually in the role. So here we go. You get the case study results. You give them a timeline, like 2-3 days, depending on how extensive it is. It's a technical case study. Obviously, they might need some more time to develop and show you and then present. But truly, a 3-day window is probably good to get the case study done. Now you have the case study back, you're reviewing their work. You actually see how they communicate. You see how they present information. You see how they answer your questions. You see how they think. Does it still align with you and your environment? You're now making a more informed hiring decision at a pace that isn't rushed, but is practical, methodical, and helps you then say, okay, let's give this a try. Now, when they onboard, that is a different process we'll go through at a different time, but this is truly how you hire slow. You become more methodical around what you're willing to say yes to based on the expectations you have for this job, but most of all, to vet the applicants coming in and ensure that they actually have the baseline skill set you're looking for. Because once they're onboarded, it is up to you now to lead them into the job that you need them to be doing and make sure that you're creating the right performance management track to ensure that they are on task, are growing with you, are the right fit, unless the other decision has to be made later, which is firing fast if there's no longer a fit. But now you've screened them properly. You have a quality person that's willing to say yes to the job, and you're willing to offer that job too. To get started in that hiring process, that's what slow hiring looks like. So I just wanted to share that with you today, and I hope that helps you in expanding your team so that you could step into the role that you're meant to play in your business and feel more at ease when it comes to hiring people. All right, that's what I got for you today. I'll see you in the next episode.